Hi students, my name is Sanana and I am here to teach you the subject of Social Studies. Today we would be learning the chapter 2 of Sociology, Labor. Students, there are 4 factors of production. I am sure you all know what are the 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital and machinery. One of the most important pillars in the 4 factors of production is labor. Labor are those human resources who do work, and they are extremely important in production. This chapter will be talking about labor and the situation of labor in India in detail. Like I always told you all students, before we start learning a chapter, what we do? We try and understand what are the things that we would be learning in this chapter. So let's look at what we are learning here today. We are going to first learn about division of labor. Next, we will talk about what are the inequalities in employment and various kind of discrimination of labor. Then we will go into learning labor with pay, labor without pay. Then we will also learn about the organized sector, unorganized sector, and in the end, we would be learning various problems faced by the labor in the unorganized sector. So let's begin learning the chapter. First, like I told you all, we would be learning the concept of division of labor. Students, let me tell you a story so that you understand division of labor better. Let's say there is a company, and in this company they are manufacturing bottles. There will be different people in the factory doing different things. There may be one person responsible for manufacture of the bottle. There may be the next person B, responsible for putting the cap. Then there will be a person C to put the label in the bottle. Finally, there will be one more person to check the quality, whether the bottle has been made properly, whether the cap has been put properly, whether the label has been put properly. So each one is responsible for their own roles. So this is called division of labor, where every person is doing their individual things and in the end a complete product is being made. Now let's look at how your lesson talks about division of labor. Plato. Who was Plato? He was a philosopher since ancient times. He wrote in his book, what is his book's name? The Republic. In this book, The Republic, he wrote on the division of labor. What did he say? He said, human society is formed on natural inequalities. What is the meaning of natural inequalities? Some people are born gifted mathematicians. They are very good in mathematics. They can do calculations really fast. Some may be gifted in communication skills. They can communicate really well. Some may be gifted in art. So, there are inequalities naturally. This natural inequality is based on division of labor. Now, if I tell a potter to come and do computer related job, so much mismatch. If jobs are matched as per one's natural qualities, they will also grow a lot. So this is what Plato means when he wrote in his book. For 1 mark, you should remember the name of his book, The Republic. He also said, a society's need is fulfilled by different divisions of people. We need all kinds of people doing different kinds of jobs so that society's all the needs are fulfilled. For example, food is produced by farmers, cloth by weavers, and dresses are produced by tailors. The division of labor leads to organic merger of various sections of society. What do we mean by organic merger? Now, if the farmer wants clothes, he is going to go to the tailor. So they merge, they come together by a very natural process. Because there is division of labor, organic merger happens. Why is division of labor necessary? Why is it so important? To fulfill the needs of social, economic and political needs of the society. But there should be no exploitation in this process. What is the meaning of exploitation? Now let's say, for example, there may be a cobbler, but he is very interested in educating his son to become a computer scientist. So while he educates him, nobody should exploit and say, no, you are a cobbler, so your son should remain a cobbler. The division of labor must be on the basis of merit. While discussing on the division of labor, Karl Marx is another political scientist. He says division of labor creates less skilled workers. He is against division of labor. Why is he against division of labor? He says, no, if you say he's a cobbler, and if he is an agriculturist, he's a farmer, he's an industrialist, he's a politician, he says it creates so many divisions in society and it does not give unity. But do you all think it is true? Because if we look at it carefully, division of labor or specialization or expertise makes everyone's work easier. A fisherman can do his job really well. Everybody doesn't need to learn to catch fishes. So it also leads to specialization in society, which is very important. So you should learn from both the point of views, like what are the good, what are the bad. And you should have a balanced view when you look at anything. So Karl Marx said that division of labor creates less skilled workers. He also said division of labor is classified into economic divisions and social labor. Now, what did he have to say about it? He said the division of economic labor goes with technical and people's cooperation. So, if you have technical skills and if you cooperate, then economic division of labor happens. For example, if in a company somebody is doing the job of a clerk, it's dependent on their skills and they get paid accordingly. Similarly, if someone is at the position of a CEO, they are taking more responsibilities and they get paid accordingly. So there is economic steps and division of labor. He also said the division of social labor achieves three things. How is it achieved? Through class, status and stratification. So he said a lot of classes are created, a lot of status, higher status, lower status is created, and there's a lot of division or stratification that happens in society because of division of labor. After industrialization, there is another kind of division in labor, the industrialized, the non-industrialized or the post-industrialized society. In our today's digital age, the division is based on whether the labor knows computers or doesn't know computers. So it's done on the basis of computers. For example, in the information technology society or the IT society of today, the division is based on various skills that you know in computers. Like if you know coding, then you are fit for certain jobs. If you know only typing in computers, then you are fit for a different kind of job. Similarly, there are various other computer-based skills on which one gets different kinds of employment. As we consult different doctors for different ailments or diseases, the computer technicians are also consulted for various aspects of information technology related issues. So like this, what comes into picture? Specialization. Specialization creates division of labor. Here specialization means having deeper knowledge and in-depth skill of one particular field. For example, if I want to do a heart related surgery, I will go for a person who is specialized, called the cardio surgeon. If I want to do something with my teeth, I will go to a dental surgeon. So we look for specialization so that we get expertise or in-depth knowledge and skill from the person who is giving us the product or service. It is the foundation for division of labor. So what has division of labor helped? It has helped people to gain skill in a field and earn economic benefits. That is, they can earn salaries, profits, and so on. Are the different economic benefits they can earn in accordance to their skill. Due to economic interest, because there is so much money one can earn because of division of labor, this class system has emerged. Since division of labor found widespread accessibility, it's so easy to understand and follow. Business and industrialization emerged. As a result, so only a few people keep making investments, they keep earning profits. Whereas the other people who are doing different kinds of labor, like doctors have remained doctors, they have not become investors. So because of this, only few people have earned more profit. This brings us to the end of first topic. What is division of labor? We saw what Plato had to say about it, what Karl Marx had to say about it. In words of Karl Marx, we also learnt about economic labor, social labor, and then we also learnt about specialization and how division of labor is advantageous and how it is disadvantageous.